Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about the fresh release from ICM, and this is the helicopter in 148 scale. So what we get here is the AH-6J, so-called Little Bird, and this is US Special Forces attack helicopter. So as you remember, I had a chance to review the initial release of this kit, and now we have yet another version. And what I have here on the table, this is the final shape, so if you order it from Modelimex, you will be getting exactly the same thing as what you will see in this video review. The kit number is 48370, and we have quite a neat box here. As you can see, the box art is really good looking. It shows the helicopter in flight. Then here on the side you can see also some information about this kit. So what is written here is that we have 215 parts, and the length of the model will be 182 millimeters, so it's quite a large model for this scale, I mean for the helicopters. And here you can see 1 and 2 of the marking options. I'm just checking from the opposite side if we have something else, but it looks like there will be only 2 markings. As usual, box is sealed with the tape, so I just need to cut through and we will take a closer look together. In the meantime, again, I remind you that I reviewed the initial release as well. This is, let's say, a new tooled release. Relatively fresh because it came out this year, and that's why it might be an interesting build for modelers who missed it. And the box structure is standard for this brand. As you can see, we have this color printed top section. It's flexible, it does not provide any protection, it's more just to have a nice box art, and this white cardboard box is actually preserving everything intact. And then I just need to open it, just give me a second. And here inside we have the resealable plastic bag with all of the parts, or with all of the sprues, and I just need to open it as well, so just give me a second and we will take a closer look together. As far as I remember, the initial release was quite nice in terms of the features which you get out of the box, and I guess this set or this version will not be different from this rule. It's just we need to check everything one by one, and straight away I can say that it's not cool that everything is packed all together. I have few broken off parts, not damaged, but they are flying around the plastic bag, so yeah, I'm still dreaming to have the separate plastic bags in ICM kits. They would be quite useful, especially for such fine detailed kits. So what we have here is the first sprue, which is provided in 2 pieces. Here we have the various armament for this helicopter. And obviously you don't have to use everything at once, so maybe some of this will stay in your spare parts box. They might be useful for some additional builds or scratch building, but the molding quality here is quite fine, and the assembly for these rocket launchers is quite straightforward. So basically you combine 2 hulls and also install the front and rear. Inside, of course, we have the guiding pins, so this will help you with the proper alignment. And next we have also this plastic sprue. So this one, to be honest, I'm not sure where it will be used. It looks like the fuselage parts or panels. We also have here probably the top section, and overall the external features are pre-molded, as you can see, so some of them will deserve nice paint work or maybe even the washes, but this is already your decision whether you would like to have some weathering on your aircraft, or maybe you would like to build a more of the clean looking build. Next we continue with this plastic sprue, and here exactly you can see the broken off parts which I was talking about. So here is the one, and I think I saw somewhere the second one, but overall we have a lot of thin and small parts. So just to give you an idea, here is comparison with my fingertips. So they are really tiny, and in some cases you have to use tweezers because otherwise you might end up losing them. And as you can see, this is definitely a carpet monster nightmare, because once they just fly off, you don't have any spares here. So be careful and try to have the right tools for this so that you won't be spending your time searching for all those tiny bits. Next we continue with the sprue A, And here we have the fuselage house, as some might say finally, because I know that some of you were expecting to see them in the last review as well. So here you can see that they are molded without the tail boom, so those two hulls will be actually assembled into the tail section. We have a lot of internal bulkheads and floor panels and other stuff, so it should be very nicely detailed inside. So take your time, try to spend it in order to have a nice interior, and even with the closed doors it should be good looking. Here we also have the main rotor blades here and here, and all of this stuff will be assembled together. As you can see, the span of those blades should not be really big, but still it should be quite enough to make it a bit tricky to transport to some shoals or maybe to place it on the shelf. Here inside you can see we have also the guiding pins for this fuselage house, so it will be easy to combine them together, and they are not that big. So here is comparison with my hand, so those are, I would say, somewhat small sized, and probably the tail boom will be making the large portion of the size of this model. Next I'm opening another plastic bag, so at least the clear plastic sprues, or sprue, it's only one. So this one is packed separately, as you can see, and here we have all of the transparencies which you need for this helicopter. And as you remember, the design actually has quite nice canopy and the doors, so these deserve a nice paintwork, and I really hope that we have the masking templates for this, because otherwise it will be really tricky to properly mask them and get the good outline. But first I would like to show you those decals, so they are hidden in the assembly manual. Here we have various numbers for the helicopters, but as you remember, we saw only 2 marking options, but here you can see more numbers. So it's interesting whether we will be getting some other variants as well. And for this we should check the assembly manual, so it is provided as this, I would say, traditional ICM brochure, which is printed in color. Here we have also short history note and technical specifications of the real helicopter. Here we also have the parts map, so red color means that these parts will not be used. As you can see, only a few will stay on the frame. And next we start assembly with the cockpit, so we also assembled the fuselage house together here on the step 12. And actually, I'm just checking how... No, it's not combining yet, because as you can see here, we install the cockpit inside. Then we working on the main rotor, and here on the step 31 we are actually combining 2 together. And also here you can see the engine nozzle. And next, by the way, note that there are different assembly options depending on the marking you choose, so definitely pay attention to this. And next we continue with the canopy, some external elements and the doors, as you can see here. Then we again have some assembly options depending on the marking you will pick. Here we continue with the... I think this is just the ammo bay for the weapons which will be loaded on the sides, so here you can see them being installed. And then we continue with the main rotor, and on the next page here you can see the armament assembly. Then we have the marking guide for the first marking option. This one is from 1993. Then we continue with 2 more marking options from the same year, and this one is just from 1990s. And here is one more, so 4 marking options in total. But what is a bit sad that we do not get the masking template for this canopy. So in case you would like to have a nice paintwork, it might be a good idea to spend a bit more and get the aftermarket masks, which will be a bit easier to apply and they will save you a bit of time. But overall the whole kit looks fine for the experienced modelers, because this is a helicopter after all, and in 1/48 scale you saw the amount of the tiny parts. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion, so what do you think about this release? Write it here in the comment section below. Get this one in Modelimex, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.